Welcome back to part 2 of maintaining a relationship here at Notes to Young People.
He's single.
You smell it. You said hard.
You can edit and take out stuff.
Get away from me.
Continue to watch as I ask our panel the hard and juicy questions.
What is the honeymoon phase, in your opinion?
Of a relationship.
Yep.
I think the honeymoon phase is until you get married. I think once you're dating one another, things could be fantastic. And then once you get married and you're seeing each other every day and you're farting and you smell it. You said hard. And you smell them when they don't take a shower. Yeah. And all of a sudden, like, yeah, the honeymoon, you can date. That's why some people don't want to get married. You can date each other and you're in a honeymoon. I don't think there's any not honeymoon phase when you're dating. Well, I think once you get married, that's when it's over.
Oh, well, not talking personally for us, but all the friends that I have that got married, I think their honeymoon phase ended like a year or two.
After they got married?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think ends the honeymoon phase? Like, how do you know?
A lot of more challenges come in your relationship, in the marriage.
Yeah.
That's when you see the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, now you have to, work out things, you have to work out the bills, you have to, if you have children, you have to deal with the children. It's more like when you're single, you're doing things in your own space, your own time, but then when you connect with somebody and you're living in the same house, you kind of like have to do a lot of compromising.
Yeah.
You kind of have to sometimes listen to a person tell you what to do when you're not really used to it. And so, that's no fun, actually.
Like even, well, we all know this, it's financial debt. When you're in financial debt, that causes a lot of stress in a marriage. So you have to find ways and means to come to a middle ground to, try and make your marriage work.
Before we got married, because I watched my parents, they showed me what not to do. So before we got married, we sat down and I explained to him my thoughts on children and finances. And we came to agreement. With us, we come to agreements a lot. So, like, even the date for us to get married, we said give ourselves 3 years. It ended in the second year. We got married in the second year. And then, in terms of finance, we in our young age, we said we didn't want any credit cards or any loans. If anything, if we want something, we're going to come together, save towards it, and then we're going to purchase whatever we need to do or do whatever we need to do. And that is how we have lived. And tried our best not to have that financial crisis.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we do. And
that would sure alleviate some stress, because that financial thing is a stress on a lot of relationships.
Yep, it is.
And you touched on something that has to do with maintaining a relationship also. When you start your relationship, you do have to have a discussion about what you want. Let's say you eventually get married. Do you want children? So before you go into this deep relationship, you have to talk about stuff like that. Sometimes a person may say, I never want to have children. And then this is, and you want 10. So, this is not for me. Whereas some people may think, oh, well, I can convince that person to change their mind. And sometimes that is what ends the relationship, because the other person. So when you're dating, you have to kind of question the person as to what they want in life. What are their expectations? Do they want children? Do they want to get married? So we're talking about maintaining a relationship. You have to know, well, am I going to maintain a relationship with somebody who wants the same thing I want? Do they want to get married? Do they want to have kids? You have to talk a lot and ask a lot of questions. Yeah.
I think also sex is a vital part of your marriage. Because I've seen certain marriage get destroyed because of sex. It's because I've seen people schedule sex, so it becomes a stress on their relationship.
Why they schedule it? Because they want to have kids or something?
No, because they're so busy doing other stuff,
But the mere fact that you have to schedule it is a problem right there.
It's a chore.
Because I think it should be spontaneous.
Yes, it should be spontaneous.
So the mere fact that you have to schedule it,
So,
yeah.
Oh, and I have a comment on honeymoon phase. It's gonna sound weird, okay? But let me explain it. I think it comes and goes.
Oh,
Listen me up.
That's true.
So like, you have your honeymoon phase. There's a bunch of challenges. You overcome them as a couple. And I'm not like barely overcoming, like successfully overcome it.
Yeah.
So you learn from the challenge and you learn how not to repeat it, or if it's something out of your control, how to navigate through it. So when it comes around again, you're not like caught off guard. Then after that, there's a period where everything is just like bliss.
Yeah.
And then another challenge comes in again. That is how I
Yeah, you are correct. When she said honeymoon phase, I was thinking of the time when you don't really have to work too much. But when you do get married, you do have to work a lot, and you can experience what you just explained, but you do have to work at it.
Yeah.
So when you're dating, it's more spontaneous, da-di-da-di-da. But when you get married, yes, you can have periods of bliss, but I think you have to put some work into it to have that.
What are the benefits of being married? Versus...
You can say, that's my husband.
I guess, okay. The world is changing so much, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't grow up with such strict parents and religion, maybe I'll still get married. But because to me, the only purpose to get married is for legality. So you're married, your assets, and unless you sign a prenup. Yeah, that's the only thing. So if your spouse dies, you get their things. I think that's the only...
It's like a business contract.
Yes.
Some people say that. But I see other things. I find that when you're married to a guy, you get more respect.
Oh.
It's like a societal thing.
Yeah.
You're his wife. Whereas if you're not married to him, you're just his girlfriend. They're like, well, that's his girlfriend. But when you're his wife, they give you more respect. Especially if family members do that too. His mother, his father, or her mother, her father, they give you more respect. You wouldn't know it if you didn't get married. Because I experienced being married and not being married. And being married, I found that when I'm married, I got more like respect from people, especially their parents and family members. Or when we weren't married, they didn't respect me too much.
Okay.
So, and in my relationship now, I'm like, now I'm the girlfriend. I'm like, for example, he has a brother that just got married, and he's like, oh, now he's a married man. He changed his whole lifestyle. He's all, now he's dedicated more to this woman. And I'm like, oh.
Okay.
So it's society that puts this value on it, and you wouldn't know it unless you experience the two. You know, now, you know, you're married and you're like, what's, no. But if you weren't married, you maybe wouldn't recognize the difference, but you would get less respect walking next to him as his girlfriend. But since you are his wife, society gives you more respect. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's what happens. You know, if he passes, you're entitled to certain things. You know, you make decisions when it comes to his health in the hospital. If you go to visit him in the hospital, so are you his wife? You know, that type of stuff. You just get more respect.
Okay. I get you. I hear you.
Yeah. So that's what I see.
Glennie, would you ever get married, and why?
Yeah. Why? Well, one, it's like Mom said, it's a respect kind of thing. It's just kind of how society was just formed. If you're husband and wife, you're seen as more prestige, and also it's a symbol of connection.
Yeah.
I think, you know, you could argue that, you know, you'll still have that connection, but what it does, it kind of puts it on paper. And I don't know if it actually makes it changes someone's like dedication or not. Like, wow, married, it's on paper, like it's actually it. I'm legally Mrs. other than Miss, and I legally have a wife rather than just have a girlfriend by name.
Yeah.
So it just adds that dedication factor.
Plus when you get married, people say, well, they put something on your worth. They're like, oh, he was willing to marry her. I mean, there must be something special about her. You know, but if he's not married, he's like, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her?
Like,
he's not marrying her. There's something wrong with her.
They like to say that if he made an honest woman out of you.
Oh.
All that nonsense.
I made an honest woman out of you. Oh.
Alright, I just hear that one.
Oh. To me, it's like, if somebody marry you, ask you, will you be my wife? It somehow elevates your value as a person to society. Right? That means you must be good at something. But if you're just his girlfriend, they're like, well, something must be missing in that relationship. He will not commit.
How do you feel about kids outside of marriage?
Who wants to start this one?
Or should this be another topic
Yeah,
for
it
another
should be.
day? Another topic for another day? Okay. How important do you feel it is to continue dating your partner? And what does a typical date look like from the beginning of your relationship to now?
When you date your partner, it kind of adds some excitement to it. So I think you should continue to date your partner.
Yes.
Do new things, experience new adventures together.
So what does a typical date look like between you and your significant other?
Go to City Island. To the rest. Oh, dancing. Oh, that's my favorite. I love to go dancing.
Yeah, I think dating is very important. I think it's more important when you're married than when you're courting. I think it's more important when you're married because you have to keep, so like how you have to keep current with the times, you still have to keep current with this person next to you because over a period of years, you change as a person.
Okay.
Yes, you begin to like and dislike things that you used to like or dislike. So you keep changing as an individual and you need to keep updated with that person as well. And you have to come into a neutral environment in order for you to see those things. You can't just keep, because when you're married, it can become work, gym, go to the work. And you wake up work, or you go to work again, you come home, you're so tired, you just knock out, and you end up having a better relationship with your coworkers rather than the person who you dedicated your life to.
Yeah.
So dating is very important. And a date when we were younger was catching the bus and meeting at a restaurant or walking to the restaurant. And a date now is getting ready together and going to, it could be a restaurant, or you go for a walk, or you go to the beach, you just relax,
Yeah.
have conversations, like deep conversations. Sometimes they end up being discussions and arguments.
Oh.
But yeah, I think it's very important to date.
I have a question. I wanted to clarify something because I never thought of things this way. When you said that person is changing and you kind of have to keep up with the changes that's happening within that person. So you kind of have to adjust yourself to accommodate the changes that are going on. I mean, for example, my significant other, when we first started, he used to love to dance. He used to love. I know he don't dance too much no more. I'm like, what happened to you? What happened to you? And I'm like, he's changed. Did he change or did he lie to me?
I don't think it's a lie. It's just after a while, he probably get tired of it, doing it. So you just have to find something new to do.
But I love to dance.
I would say the person is changing. It's just that they just start doing new stuff, so they just stop doing. So you, as he or she, would have to find something else to,
But suppose it's something you really love to do still.
Well, as you said, it shouldn't stop you from enjoying yourself.
And then if I go and dance with other people, I get help. So.
So it's how you do a dance.
Well, if any kind of dance, I must dance with women.
Well, that's what you were there. Significant other too.
But anyway.
What set your significant other above the rest?
Personality. It's different from. Well, before I was with Nadia, I used to date other girls too. The difference is that for me, it's just her personality and how she reacts to certain things than the past other girls I used to be with. Would made me even respect her even more. So there's so much.
Just choose one.
Okay. Yeah. I'm brain farting right now. She's not always into the style, you know what I mean? Like, let's just say hairstyle. She always keep her hair
Natural?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I remember when we were dating, and I asked him, "Why me? There's all these other girls. Why me?" And he said, "This is don't take it too serious. You're low maintenance." Meaning, like, you see other girls, they have nails and they have makeup and they have the hair, the false hair and all of that. And I like to be natural. I like to have my own hair. My nails are clean, short. I don't like a lot of makeup. Who you see is what you get. I'm a more genuine person.
Yes,
down to earth.
Yes, I'm not fake. I'm not gonna be something and the latest this and the latest that and have no character whatsoever. That's the kind of person I am, and I can attest to that. When we were dating, he respected me a lot.
Might be lying, but go ahead.
There was the first time we kissed. He didn't want to kiss me because he didn't want, for the lack of a better word, did not want to defile me in that sense. Because I can remember he said to me, "I can't believe I'm about to do this to you. It was just a kiss." He would think it's something else, but that's what it is. And he just had so much respect for me, and I like that about him. Because there are other guys around, and they will be fresh and forward. They would try to catch a feet. Yes, that doesn't mean anything. Some of these guys in church are wolf in sheep clothing, right? Yeah. So
Yeah, that's it. That's the example.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
Ma.
Why him and nobody else? She's going there. You choose who chooses you.
So you chose him because he chose you above all others?
Yeah, it's like he chose me. And so, I mean, it couldn't be anybody. Not everybody was, I mean,
I mean,
It's
but you
just
weren't
like-
going to choose everybody that chooses you.
no.
Yeah,
That's
so
okay.
why him?
Well, I guess, as I said, it's the way the person treats you. To me, for me, it's the way I was treated, and we kind of have a history. So I kind of knew him from years back.
And how did you meet him years back? You don't have to go into detail, just where, how.
In Brooklyn, West Indian Day Parade.
Oh.
Yeah.
You guys are having nutcrackers and...
No, in a band, like I was dancing in a band with my sister or somebody, and this guy, you know, in Antigua, they dance behind you. So I look back, and there was this cute guy, so I kept dancing. And after that, I looked back, and there was this other guy. I'm like, get away from me. So he had to go, and he had a friend who I grew up with,
Okay.
actually. And so that's how we met. It wasn't really, and then he kind of got my number from that same guy, because we were schoolmates. And I gave my schoolmate my number, and my schoolmate gave it to him. And he called me, and I'm like, why are you calling me? Where did you get my number? And so, yeah, that was that. So that's why, I guess that's why it was him and nobody else, because I kind of knew him already.
Why was him the first time? What made you be like, this is going to be
Because
my
he was bothering me. He
boyfriend?
kept calling me.
He kept bothering you?
Mhm. He kept calling me and all that kind of stuff, coming to my house in Brooklyn. Yeah. Yeah, and he was cute. Yes.
Glennie, why are you still single? And what will make you give somebody a chance?
Okay, so why I'm still single? Because I'm not really trying, to be honest. Because one, I'm not pursuing. I'm just kind of seeing if it would fall into my lap eventually. And I could pursue if I wanted to, but I just don't feel the need to right now. So, I mean, if it falls in my lap, I'm open to it, but I'm not actively, like, flirting with anybody, really, unless I feel the vibe. But I'm not really doing that right now. And then, what was the second question?
What traits would a girl have to make you stop in your tracks?
Stop in my tracks.
Who are you
I
attracted
don't know,
to?
the engine's always moving, but they have to be a little silly, but serious when the time needs to be. They need to be willing to try new things. They can be a homebody, but not always. Like weekends, I'd want them to do things. I don't want them to be a couch potato. That's a little different from a homebody, in my opinion. Couch potatoes, they just want to be home all day. But homebodies, they want to be home most of the time, but they also want to go out. So they have to want to go out at least a few times.
How old are you?
21.
You got a bachelor's degree, right?
Yeah. I have a bachelor's degree in information technology.
All right, you heard it here, ladies. Single man, 21, bachelor's degree in tech.
She was good there.
He's single. No, I'm single too. What's one piece of advice you would give anybody who wants to be in a relationship ever?
You need to have self-confidence. That's for me. And know your worth. Because if you know your worth, you're not going to allow people to take advantage of you or treat you, you're not going to stay in a relationship that is not good for you, because you know that you are a person of value and you're hard to find. So therefore you find the strength to walk away when you see things are not working out the way you would like them to work out.
Okay.
If you want to be single, what do you want? Same motto, be friends with the person, and go with the person, and eventually you will make that decision to be in a relationship and then get married. So be friends with the person, know your value, and just go together.
Sometimes going together means going apart, right?
Yeah. You have that challenge, yeah.
What advice would I give? Today's world is so different, right?
Yep.
Because I would have said, work on yourself, get yourself together. Meaning, from my experience, I was working on my career. I was working on, just me, getting my own paycheck, becoming more independent, not really wanting to depend on someone else for things that I can't get from myself. So simple things like love. As Auntie Denny said, love yourself. Once you love yourself and you take care of yourself, I know it sounds selfish, but you have to be selfish sometimes, because who's going to take care of you? So work on you. Somebody will come.
Yes.
Somebody will come. I wasn't looking for anybody. Somebody will come.
Said that in the first episode. Yeah, that's what we said.
Hey, if you know you want somebody good, make sure you hang out in good areas. Yeah. Whoever you mingle around, your significant other will be there somewhere.
Yeah.
If it's a dance hall, he might be standing on the wall watching you. If it's a church, he'll be watching you somewhere and you watch him. We used to go to the same church. I didn't even know he was in the church until the appointed time came and we were introduced to one another. So yeah, just work on you. Yes. Oh, as my grandmother say, marry who love you. That's what she says. She always says, marry who loves you.
I guess our final thoughts about maintaining a relationship, just make sure that you love yourself, treat the person the way you want to be treated. As Nadia said,
Work on yourself.
Work on yourself, and nobody's responsible for your happiness. You're responsible for your own happiness. And I find that also, if you go about making yourself happy, the person that you're with will could, I'm not saying guaranteed, could somehow fall in love with you even more, because you're not some needy person trying to get them to change them to whatever you want to change them into.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, Notes to Young People. If you like what you heard today, please hit the like, subscribe, and bell notification button. See you at our next episode.